All right, YouTube, this is Mr. Mean bringing another video du jour your way. Today is Sunday, October 23rd. I found my headset, I charged it up, I got my microphone going. Life is good. Let me know if you think the audio is better this way or the other way. I kind of don't like wearing the headset with the mic, but this is an awesome headset and a mic. It's the VX 500 or something from Turtle Beach. It came out the same time the PlayStation 4 or shortly after it came out. So it's a really good headset. Sounds really good. Works really well when I'm playing my PlayStation games on my big TV down in the living room. I like it a lot. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Today's video du jour, and again, there I go with the du jour. I don't know why I do that, but I do. Um, it's a nice, slightly sunny, little overcast day here in Beaumont, Texas. Um, I'm going kind of way back, but yet current. Funny you should ask. I did find some of my books for Mutants and Masterminds. This is the Deluxe Heroes Handbook. Uh, it retails for $39.95, which I think is an excellent price point for this product. It is full color on glossy paper. Let me find a nice image here for you. Yeah, there we go. Um, it's uh, it's a great book. It's very well laid out, hardback. I also have a softback copy, but it was in the box and I didn't see it. I didn't pull it out. So we're going to go over Mutants and Masterminds today. This is a great game. This is for the second edition of Mutants and Masterminds called Crooks, which is probably, if you're a GM, excuse me, if you're a GM, you buy this book. Don't question it. Don't argue with me. I'm Mr. Mean. You're not going to win. Buy the damn book. It's worth it. I'm not sure if they've redone it for third edition. I don't believe they have, but I was tooling around on their website, and I think all the second edition of books are readily available from Green Ronin. Um, this is so let's get off. Let me look at my notes. Let's be professional here. Um, Chris Pramis, Nicole Lindros, Mangold, Stan's done a little bit of work with these guys too. This is an OGL based game back from the days of 3.0, 3.5 Wizards of the Coast OGL, or the Open Game License. It's a one die roll system. All you need to play this game for dice is a D20. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You can have multiple D20s. I've found I've ran this game extensively a lot. I really, really like it, but it can get a little crazy with like speedsters because of the segments that they can act in and everything. But again, it handles it very well. The cool part is if you got a character that can make multiple attacks, like you want to make Wolverine, he's kind of really fast. He's agile, he's pretty strong, and he can attack multiple times in a turn. Just get multiple d20s, and first attack is a blue die, second attack is a yellow die, third attack is a red die, whatever. You get the concept. So that's about the only thing you would need extra dice for. I do find, well, let's just say it's a fast system. Let's stay with the format here. It's a fast system. It's one die roll. That tells you everything. You rolled a hit, you made it. The defense roll, you're done. It's everything. You have margins of success and margins of failure. That's going to tell you how much damage you're going to take, or how much, or if the attack totally misses. You can buy all their stuff. Green Ronin is very good at doing PDFs as well. So the PDF for this book is $19.95. Now you might say, wow, that's PDF, that's kind of steep, but look at the thickness of this book. I don't even know how many pages this is. This thing's a beast. Not including the OGL, we're looking at, with a comprehensive index, we're looking at 317 pages for $40. That's a bargain. I think they could have easily got away with charging $59.95 like Fantasy Flight does and WotC does, and I think it would have sold just as well. But that's just testament to Green Ronin and their marketing model, and they want to put the game in as many people's hands as they can. $20 for a PDF, full color PDF with layers that I believe you can turn off to make it easy for printing. The book is, it's laid out. The table of contents in this is just phenomenal. Everything is pretty much there, and if you can't find it there, go into that index in the back and you'll find it. But this is a point buy system. Um, the system hasn't really changed very much since 2002, the first printing when it came out, um, which was of course in the heyday of 3.5, and again, the OGL. So full color. I mean, this supports any game style you want to play. It's a fast system. Dare I say, it is as fast as Savage Worlds, and I might even say it's a little faster. Once you wrap your head around the curve and how the dice mechanic works, and all your players are on board, this is a fast system. Where this system bogs down, character creation. It's a points-driven system with points within points. So you can build a special power, and one of the best examples is Green Lantern's ring. It's will based, but anything he can think of, he can make with the ring. So you have to buy point. You have to take a certain amount of your points at character creation. You not only have to buy your stats, so obviously a character like Green Lantern is going to have a superior will, but for the most part, Hal Jordan, the original Green Lantern, was just a test pilot. He wasn't anything special. I mean, he was in good shape. He wasn't like a superior athlete. He wasn't a great martial artist. He couldn't shoot the wings off a fly at 25 yards. I mean, he was just an average Joe, but he had a real strong willpower to do the job he did, which was test piloting of planes. So his will powers that ring, and then of course the ring manifests whatever it is he thinks of. So you can make that character in this game. You can totally do it, but it's going to take some work. This is not a sit down in 5 minutes like Savage Worlds and let's spit out a character. After you've done it a couple times and you have an idea for a character, yeah, you can do it pretty darn quickly. There's a number of Excel spreadsheets. There's Lone Wolf Development. There's their Hero Lab, which I highly support, and it works very well with this as well. But again, still not going to spit out a character in 5 minutes. It's going to take you some time because, as the old saying goes, there's never enough points. And this is a point-buy system. I think it's a factor of 5 or 10. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I ran it. But I know at 10th level you got 150 points basically to make your character, and so those 150 points go fast. There's been some minor tweaks between first edition, second edition, and third edition, where they've streamlined the rules even more, cleaned up some of the superpowers so they couldn't be broken, so to speak. But as a GM, you're going to want to, clairvoyance is something that in the player's hands, they're going to do things that you don't expect them to do, and they might ruin your plot line. So be aware, and if you're running a superhero game, you've probably ran like Champions or FASARIP, the old Marvel superheroes, or, Blood and Honor, the DC version. There's 101 different super world. I mean, there's 100 different superhero RPGs, and I'm glad to say I own just about all of them. Guardians. Anybody remember Guardians from Dark Tower Entertainment? I have a hard copy of it. So anyway, points-based system. Oh, my headphones wanted to turn off because I guess it's not, since they're made for a PlayStation, I guess it doesn't work. I don't know. I got to play with it. Anyway, sorry about that. Save the world. The world's greatest superhero RPG. Save the world. Fly into super heroic battle with mutants and masterminds. You and your friends take on the roles of superpowered heroes in a world of criminal masterminds, paranormal terrorists, destructive brutes, and other insidious villains. You get to thwart their evil plans and bring them to justice. Since 2002, Mutants and Masterminds has earned its title as the world's greatest superhero RPG, inspiring countless game sessions and winning many awards for excellence. The Deluxe Heroes Handbook is the revised and expanded core rulebook of the game's third edition, and it gives you everything you need to have your own super heroic adventures. A flexible and powerful system for creating the hero that you want to play. A huge variety of superpowers, skills, and advantages to choose from and customize. A core system that emphasizes action and uses only a single 20-sided die. Integrated rules for gadgets, vehicles, and headquarters. Ready to play archetypes and quick start character generator if you want to get the action even faster. advice for game masters on creating and running your own adventure series. Introductions to the premier setting for Mutants and Masterminds, Emerald City and Freedom City. 2 brand new adventures, Ghost Town by Seth Johnson and Time of the Apes by Christopher McGaughlin. So what are you waiting for? Choose your power, put on your mask, fight the forces of evil, and save the world. It doesn't get any better than that, man. Game is heavily supported by Green Ronin. A lot of PDF-only products, like they have like, I think it's like a Villain of the Month or what do they call it? See, I got to do my homework on these videos, guys. I'm killing it. Go to their website. They've got villain profiles, and they charge like $2-3 for them. Couple page PDF. You download them, and you've got a villain. That's how they originally did the Gadget source book, which was amazing, and then they redid it for 2nd edition. I don't believe they've done it for 3rd edition, but I think everything in there is copacetic with 3rd edition. So again, not much of a world fleshed out here. This is kind of just the rules. There are some pre-generated villains and pre-generated heroes to get you going. I know in previous editions, especially in the 1st edition, there were some calculation errors in the superheroes. So they weren't, if you tried to recreate those heroes with the points that were given, it didn't work. And they addressed that and they put it up there. And I think in 2nd edition, unfortunately, they had the same problem. I think it was a little bit more minor. Now, these, I haven't read anything because I'm not currently running the game. I'm running a D&D 5th edition game, and we play every 2 weeks. So I don't have time to put in another game, but this is one I would definitely love to run. It's a great game. The art is fantastic. Storn Cook has done a lot of the art in previous edition, and I'm pretty sure he did some in here as well. I don't think they give any props to the artist, art director, interior art, Jeff Carlisle, Darren Calvert, Adam DeCraker, Talon Dunning. I don't see Storn in here. MK Ultra Studios, they've done a lot of stuff with them in the past. I don't see Storn in here at all, but I know he was in 1st and 2nd edition. He's been in some other books for them. He was their early art guy, and he's done a lot of stuff in Champions and other various games, Magic cards. So if you haven't checked out StornCookStudios.com or StornCook.com, fantastic artist, really gives you that 4-color flavor of superheroes. So anyway, we segue into, from this being the core rule book, 317 pages, pretty much everything you need to make a character right here. They also have a GM book. I did not break it out. I just didn't see it, and it was mixed in with some other books. But they have the GM's guide, and I have it as a softback, and it's very well written. Goes into everything about how to set up a superhero game, how to play a Silver Age game, how to play a Golden Age game. If you're a huge comic book fan, you'll know those terms. If you don't, learn them. It's good to know. Goes into everything, how to deal with problem players, how to set up headquarters, because it's superheroes. You got to have, Batman had the Batcave, Justice League had the satellite tower in space, Freedom Tower 1 or whatever. The Fantastic Four had the Fantastic Tower. So yeah, headquarters layouts, how to randomly roll up headquarters and stuff. So really cool. And villains get the same treatment for hideouts, so it's kind of cool. You can 180 degree flip it, and you've got either or. So really cool. It's a good book. You can get away with just this though. You don't need anything else. If you're a creative GM, you can create your own world. You can steal Gotham. You can steal Metropolis. You can steal Manhattan, the Daily Bugle. I mean, there's enough real life instance, because you can make this in our timeline. You could do it set in the 50s, Silver Age. You could do it in whatever. So yeah, you don't really need anything else, but I highly recommend you pick up everything else if you can, because all of the books are top notch. So then, like I was saying, we're saying that we got the GM's guide, and even though I don't have it here to show you, you can go on greenronin.com and you can check it out. The other cool book, Crooks. This is for, I believe, 2nd edition. It might even have been 1st edition, 2003. So yeah, it was 1st edition. Hardback, full color. The Brain. Metaphor was like their default superhero. But basically, this is just, let me find a good one. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Blitz. She's she's basically a supermodel gone psycho. She's a rich princess, and she's a white supremacist. And it's good. But they give you the background. They give you using blitz tactics, game. They give you her full game stats, and then capers. Capers are like their little one shots or mini adventures. It's just a real rough outline of what's going down and how to get your players involved. Not even how to get your players. It's just telling you what's happening and what's going on and how she's involved or how the various NPCs are involved. And it's just a little bitty adventure around there. So kind of cool. I mean, just neat stuff. Like here's Volcano Island. It's one of the supervillains, hideouts, and it gives you all their stats and everything for them. So really good information. I mean, just the atomic brain. This is like he's like the Lex Luthor to Superman. He's the uber bad guy. He's just a brain in a power suit basically. And then probably what makes this book worth its weight in gold is the fact that mooks, M-O-O-K-S. I'm from Brooklyn. A mook is a derogatory term for an underling, for a nobody, for somebody who's worthless. You mook. Comes back from probably the 30s, 40s, and 50s. In the mafia, they had mooks that would go out and go rough people up or whatever. So they bring it into this game. I first ran into mooks in my GMing career. I always used them. I just didn't really. I called them mooks. I mean, and we're talking as early back as in the days of the early 80s when I was GMing D&D. I used mooks. The kobolds were, there was 10 kobolds. There was no leader. There was no named character. They were mooks. They were just there to delay the PCs while the bad guy did whatever it is he was trying to do, or he sent them out to go kill the PCs. So mooks tells you how to use them. I mean, it's fantastic. The only other game I know that uses mooks like this is Feng Shui or Feng Shui. They actually make it. D&D 4th edition also did it. They had mooks as adversaries, and they were the same as every other creature. They only had 1 hit point. So if you got a solid hit on them, they went down. But they had all the other powers that all the other named monsters or villains or whatever had. So, but this, I mean, they pretty much got their own subsection in a book. So this is, I mean, if you can find this book, I recommend you pick it up. It's got a little comic book in the front of it. It's really well done with Metaphor, which is like their default, like Fantastic Four, but it's like kids. Well, it's a family, and they work for an organization, and so it's really well done. It's a 4-color comic. It's pretty good. So crooks, buy it. Don't even question. Just Mr. Mean says buy it, you should buy it. It's that simple. It retails for $27.95, $28. You could probably buy it as a PDF right now off a Green Ronin site. It's worth it. If you're a GM, this will give you sessions and sessions and sessions of inspiration. Just the mooks alone. I mean, they've got every kind of mook you need in here. They've got everything from the Antag agents, which are basically Applied Neural Technology Advancement Group, aka AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics from Marvel. Combots, which are basically the Danger Room robots from X-Men. Cultists, demons, goblins, mechanauts, which are basically a race of machine men that have gone. Military personnel. I mean, we're talking mooks here, so they're nothing special. Ninjas, security agents, sky pirates, if you're doing that pulp thing. The Stellar Guard, which are part of the Tsar. The Tsar is a named bad guy in the Mutants and Masters universe, so this is his guards. Super spies, terrorists, thugs. You just need werewolves, vampires, zombies. I mean, you name it. They got mooks for them for pretty much every genre that you need. So I can't stress enough. I've read this book probably 5-6 times. It's just amazing. It's really well written. It even goes into briefly telling you how to use mooks, aside from the comic book, the 50s, the kind of the timeline of Mutants and Masterminds. The Statesman's one of their big superheroes, kind of like our Superman. Then, you go right into mooks. So great great book. So definitely worth picking up if you can find it. And then I mentioned on the back cover, they talk about Freedom City. Freedom City was a source book for their first and second edition that gave you, it was a coastal city, metropolis, that kind of thing. Starling City, one of those. Um, that it gave you a framework to play in. It gave you the politics, it gave you everything down to the local police department and the constables or the sheriffs, everything you could need. The political structure, the economic structure, heavily industrialized city. It was a decent sized city, and there was of course all kinds of superheroes running around. So it was a place to throw your heroes into. Well, then when they came out with third edition, they came out with Emerald City. And man, you want to talk about Freedom City on steroids. This is a campaign setting for Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition. We're looking at a retail price of $59.95, so $60. Now again, the core book, and by the way, this is the Deluxe Heroes Handbook. This is a hardback. These were hard to come by. I don't even know if they're still available, but I know you can get the softback. This is $39.95. So this was kind of a, hey, we put out a new edition. We hate to make you buy a whole new rule book, so we're going to drop the price a little bit. But then they come out with this beast, and it's got a full color, full color map, fold out map in the back. Look at that. That's a full map there. So I'm not going to pull it out because, well, it's pretty inside the book. But we are looking at 334 pages. That includes the OGL, because this is still, even though it's 3rd edition and the OGL is now pointing to 5th edition, this is 3rd edition with a D20, so it's still technically an OGL book. And so I mean, we're looking at actual usable pages, 328 pages, so about 11 pages more than the core book, minus the index, or add the index into this, and you've got a beast of a book. And there's a lot of writing on the back. I'm not going to read all of it, but some of the bullet points are: the player's guide to Emerald City, providing eminent players with all they need to know about the city and its history, geography, and culture, and how to fit their own heroes into the unique elements of the setting, from the Silver Storm to the Cryptid clans. It also includes the Sentinels, a complete group of ready-to-play M&M heroes. So not only do you have a framework and I wanted to say mythological, but I can't think of the word, a fake city, basically. You have a location in a world to basically set this in on Earth. You have ready-to-go superheroes. So if your players have never played before and you don't want to use the heroes in here, you can use the heroes in here. So, and again, look at that. I mean, that's some chunky books. So, and there, I mean, this goes into, it goes into everything. I have read a lot of this, but it goes into politics. It goes into public works, like who's the sanitation owner. They give you a rail system. It tells you about transportation in Emerald City, how to get around. They break down the financial district. They break down the traveling. This is almost like one of those, you go to the tourist spots in the on the freeway and you stop off, welcome to Austin, and you go there and you get your little map and everything. So they kind of took that approach to it, and it's really good. It's really laid out very, very well. And then it goes chapter 1, Emerald City history, and then it goes the distant past, how Emerald City, they were formed on construction and industry. They even give you fake companies. They've come up with a whole list of companies that are like the founding fathers. Drive safely in Emerald City, and there's a giant robot, telling you to slow down. So Emerald City Tourism Board thanks its generous corporate sponsors: Mars Tech, Kessler Industrial Technology, and Brand Management. Proudly published by the city Emerald City Tourism Board. Enjoy your visit to the City of Destiny. So, and that's just like what you'd see coming into the city. If you were driving in, you'd see the big map. So Sunset Hill, University Hill, Lakeside, Southern Shore, Jadetown, and Little Osaka, which is like their version of Chinatown. I mean, it's just, they go into it, man, and they give you everything. The movers and shakers, the military, they give you grids. And of course, complete stats for everybody. They've got all kinds of stuff in here. The prison system, the warden Colin Swanwick. Colin Swanwick is the warden of Deep Six, and this is a Deep Six is a para parahuman prison. So I mean, and they give you little images of them and stuff. I mean, it's just, I mean, look, they give you little headshots of the people. You know, that's the Sam Stone. He's the harbor master. You know, Secrets of the City, Secrets of Emerald City. That and all these monsters and good guys. Um, I can't gush over it enough. I'm a fanboy. This is a beautiful book. I mean, look at that cover. That is just phenomenal. That's a good cover. Very well done. Um, the book is just well written. So again, for roughly $80, or even cheaper, because you can buy them all online and get them as PDFs and pay about half the cost. So you can't lose, man. It's phenomenal stuff. Um, the mechanics, like I said, it's a D20. You roll a D20. You beat the other person's defense. If you beat it, the margin of success tells you how much damage they take. They make a recovery roll. That's their target number. If they survive, great. If they don't, they go unconscious. Because it's superheroes. Nobody dies in superheroes unless you're playing, a Batman, dark and gritty game, or you're playing like Faust. If you're a alternative comic book reader, Faust, very dark and gritty. Um, so yeah, it's an amazing setting, man. Like I said, if you get a chance to pick it up, do pick it up. The GM screen is phenomenal. It's a hard GM screen, heavy card. Like the cover of the book, kind of heavy card. It's not flimsy cardboard. They really did it well. I've got all three. I've got first edition, second edition. I've got pretty much everything for these games. They came out with a horror setting for it. Like black magic and magic setting. They came out with a fantasy setting for. There's anything you want to play, you can play. It's it's open, and it's really well done. So if you haven't checked out Green Ronin's Mutants and Masterminds, do yourself a favor. Go on their website, download the primer, give it a read, and if you think this is something for you, if you're a fan of Champions and you like crunching those numbers to make your characters, you're going to like Mutants and Masterminds. In fact, I played Champions for years, and I never really liked it. It was not my game of choice. I loved it because it was really the only good game out there to play superheroes at the time. And then there were some other games. Guardians filled a niche, that scratched that itch for me for a long time, but nobody knew about Guardians. Dark Tower Enterprises, came out and they made a couple games and then they went away. It was in during the late 80s, early 90s. But Guardians was a great game. Point buy system again, a lot simpler than this. There weren't as many powers. It was a pamphlet-sized book. I mean, it was maybe 120 pages, if that. But it was a great game. And it was a percentile system, which I love. I love percentile systems. I like a lot of games that don't use just standard D6s. About the only D6 RPG that I like, that I truly, truly like, is GURPS. And GURPS is a hard game. GURPS is very unforgiving. And Dragon Age or Fantasy Age by Green Ronin, funny enough. And then of course, then games that use other die mechanics, I'm really a fan of. I like different dice in my game. I don't know why that is. It's just how I roll. Ha! See what I did there? But this is straight D20. It's all you need. One D20, one roll, boom. You got your saving throws like in D&D. You've got your armor class, basically, so to speak, and then you have your defense. You can buy up your defense. It's a good game. I don't want to go into the mechanics because there's too many rules lawyers out there. Oh no, that's not how you do it. And I'm not a rules lawyer. I play fast and loose. The rules are a guideline, and then I roll from there. So definitely, if you get a chance, check it out. If you go to a convention and you see a game being ran, by all means, sign up for it and give it a play. I think you'll really like it. If you're into four-color superheroes, you can play this game easily. If you like dark and gritty Batman, violent street-level crime fighters, this game will do it. If you like cosmic spanning powers, Adam Warlock and the Watcher and, Darkseid and Superman, this game's got the new gods. You can do it. I mean, they give you levels. The power level dictates what level you play the game at and what your powers are. So power level 10 is the default, and that's your 4-color superhero. That's your X-Men, Darkseid's like power level 20. Superman's like, I think, power level 18 in this, if you were to stat them out. They also did a DC version of this game where they statted out the Joker, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern. So they had the rights to do a DC version of it, and I don't know if they still have the rights, but the books are probably still available via the website. So if you get a chance, check it out. Like I said, if you're at a convention and you're curious about it, I mean, give it a whirl. I think if you've collected comic books, if you've seen all the DC and Marvel superhero movies and you're like, wow, you're really entertained, this is the game for you. I think you'll enjoy it. Is it for everybody? No. I know people that don't like D20. They don't like it. To me, this 3rd edition is so far removed from D20, it's not even funny. The only similarities that they have is some of the terminology and the fact that you're rolling a D20. Other than that, everything else is different. They have advantages, they have feats, they have powers, they have saving throws, but that's where the similarity ends. This is not your standard D&D hack and slash. Players can work together to take out a guy that's, power level 20, and they're all power level 10. There are ways to take that power level 20 guy out. I mean, it's going to be hard, there's no doubt, but you can do it. It may require some creative thinking, but you can do it. And you can make any kind of character you want. You want to make, a chick who slides. You want to make Kitty Pryde from the X-Men. You can totally make her. You want to make Wolverine? You can make Wolverine. You want to make Batman? You can make Batman. You want to make Green Lantern? You can make Green Lantern. Whatever your superhero of choice is, Spider-Man, you can make Spider-Man. I mean, they really give you a lot of choices in here, and the powers. I mean, the powers are crazy. There's so many in here listed, it's not even funny. Just about anything you could think of. And with, like I said, those points within points, you want to be Thor. You get all your power from a hammer. You take the power device, and now you have a hammer. You call it's a device. You call it a hammer. You call it whatever. It could be a walking stick. Could be a brick. But it gives you power when you wield it, and then you can give it a disadvantage that when it's taken away from you, you lose all your power. So you can balance out the points. It's very much a balancing act. So you can spend a whole bunch of points in strength, or you could spend less points and get a device. The downside is you don't have that innate natural strength, and it's in a device, and if someone takes that device away from you, you lose all your strength. So, and they balance that out very well, very, very well. So super awesome game. Give it a shot. If you see me running it at a convention, if I'm at Gen Con or Origins or Dragon Con or DungeonCon or any of the local Texas cons and I'm running this, stop in and play. I guarantee you'll have a good time. If you don't have a good time, you get your money back. You won't get it back from me because I'm poor, but go talk to the convention. But anyway, you'll have a good time. It's a fun game. So that's my rant for Mutants and Masterminds. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, give a like and subscribe. It helps me out. Click on some of those commercials if you see them. I don't know if it gives me money. I don't know how this all works. I haven't taken the time to figure it out. I still need to get a better camera. I think my headset works pretty good. It's uncomfortable for me because I don't like my ears covered up. Sounds like I'm talking in a tunnel. But from previous videos that I've done with the headset, people said the audio sounded fine. So as always, put a note down in the comments there. Let me know what you think. And if you like Mutants and Masterminds, awesome. Tell me about it. Tell me about your character. Share a website if you've got it. If you don't like Mutants and Masterminds, tell me why you don't like it. I'd like to know. I think it's a phenomenal game, but I know it's not for everybody. I know people hate D&D but love Middle Earth or MERP, if you remember MERP, Middle Earth role-playing game, or AKA Chartmaster. People love that. There's a genre and there's a game out there for everybody. So let me know. But again, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Peace, love, and happiness. I'm out.